Hello, you made it. Welcome to our first lesson here on your journey to learning the Python programming language. Our first lesson today is going to be about one of the most useful functions for us as we progress through this learning, and this is the built-in print function. First off, a function is a block of organized or reusable code that is used to perform a single or related action. Now, Python provides many built-in functions, such as the print and input functions that we're going to work with in this topic, but you also can define and write your own functions as well, and that's going to be a goal of ours as we move forward. Now, functions have a special notation, so we start by typing the function's name. Our function's name is print, and you can see that when I finish typing the word, my program here changes the color of the word print to indicate that it's a function. We now notate a function by using two parentheses, and you place your arguments of the function inside of these parentheses that the function can work with. These arguments are extra pieces of information or directions that the function needs in order to run. So let's see. Let's pass the print function a message. So I'm going to use two quotes, and I'm going to type "Hello World!" exclamation point. And so now if I run this, look at that. We print "Hello World." Quite nice. So what the print function seems to do, it seems to take whatever argument we pass it, and it prints it to our screen or our standard output. So let's see, let's try to print something else here. Let's print, "This is how we print to the screen." And I'll close that. And so now if I run this, it works just as expected, right? Our first print function call prints "Hello World," and our second print function call prints "This is how we print to the screen." Now, interestingly enough, our print function, if you notice here, print, if I type print and then I'm not going to do it now. Let's see. There we go. It looks like the print function can take a value as an argument, and that's what we've been providing. This green value right here is called a string, and we're going to talk about that. Looks like there's some other arguments. There's a separator argument and an end argument as well. And so these are some of the things that we're going to discuss. See, functions, they can have required arguments, they can have optional arguments. And the way the function operates can change based on the arguments that you provide. So for instance, watch what happens if we decide to provide no arguments. We just pass a print function, or call the print function with no arguments. And then let's just say print "what just happened?" question mark. So we're going to run this. And if we look here, we printed "Hello World," just like we expected. And then "This is how we print to the screen." Our third print call on line 5, when we passed no argument, it just printed a blank line. Then moving our cursor down to the next line to allow us to print "what just happened." So it looks like when we pass the print function no arguments, it just prints a blank line. Now, things can get a little bit more interesting if we use some of the other optional arguments of the print function. For example, this "end equals" argument is an interesting argument. The end argument allows us to change what Python does once it finishes printing the line. If we don't specify this optional argument, the default value, the default behavior, is this new line character, \n, which we see, which says, "Hey, Python, when you're done printing "Hello World," move to the next line. Hey, Python, when you're done printing "This is how we print to the screen," move to the next line. Therefore, though, we can type our message and this time use that end argument. We can change the behavior of the print function. So if I print "This is a message on one line," and now there's my first argument, the value. To separate arguments, we use commas. And now I'm going to type "end equals," and I'm just going to put a space. Let's just put a space. So a space is an actual character, right? It's inside quotes, and I'm going to close this. And now let me print another message. I'll say this is a message on the same line, period. And I'll close it. This time not calling the optional end argument. And let's see what happens. And so what happens by calling that optional argument, we see this is a message on one line, and instead of the default behavior of shifting that message down to the next line when it was done, the optional end argument overrode that behavior, and it says, nope, stay right here, print a space, and then print this is a message on the same line. It is bothering me that we don't have a period here, so let's put some punctuation. Maybe I don't want a space. Maybe I want $$$$$$. I could run it that way, and let's just see what happens. And see, there we have it. So by using optional arguments here, we are altering the behavior of this function. Let's go back to the space and keep it just like that. So let's print one more message here. Now, because our last print call, the end argument wasn't used, so the default behavior says, hey, go to the next return line. We're going to say learning Python is fun. Run this, and it does exactly what we expect. So there's a great overview of our first function, the print function. It's going to be used in almost every program that we do here in this class. I hope you enjoyed.